Hi, people, how are you all? So, I'm back again with yet another episode of Mona Lisa's talk show, and today I have a very special guest with me. Before I introduce her to you, let me just tell you that this video is going to be part of my video podcast through my YouTube channel and also podcast through Spotify, and I have titled Poetry Closet. So if you haven't followed those pages yet, do follow. The link is in description. It will be given in description. So without further ado, let me just read the brief bio of our author today. Hi Shukonna, how are you?
Hi, Mona Lisa. I am fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation today. This is the second episode I'm doing with you after a long hiatus.
Thank you to
So,
you for letting me be a part. It's an
no, the
honor, as always.
and pleasure is all mine, and it's lovely. I think I'm really going to know you more through this conversation, because I think we had a very small meet through some poetry meet or something long back, I guess,
Yes,
when during the times of COVID, I guess. So after that
yes.
I also lost track because so many things happened. So it's really good to see you, and I'm going to talk to you. It's a good feeling today.
The feeling is mutual.
So, okay, I'll give a little about you to the audience. Basu Malik's works have been featured in Reader's Digest, Times of India, Sahitya Academy, Writer's Life, UK, AIPF International Anthology, and she has been bestowed with Best Manuscript Awards for fiction and non-fiction categories, Mumbai Litofest 2018. She has also been recognized for her short story Healing of Wounds at NCLF, led by Ruskin Bond. She is currently pursuing a PhD at IIT Madras. So, Shukana, I would love to know that how I know this is a very common question that is being asked to all the authors, but it's always something that makes me curious, that how the writing journey of an author started. So I would like to know that how did your writing journey start?
So mine actually started when I was in standard three.
Okay.
So I had the habit of keeping a diary, and
Okay.
I used to write everything down in my little diary. It all was very childish and didn't make much sense. Like now, when I read it, it doesn't make sense. But I think the habit of writing developed from there. And then after that, my father created an email ID for me for the first time. So that
Okay.
was my first, something that I could call my own, my digital presence online. So
Okay.
I think
At the
the
age of
domain itself is not existent now. Yes.
okay. This was done at the age of when? Your
So
first mail
I was
ID.
like, I was in standard three, and
Okay.
the email ID my father created for me when I was in standard six, I guess.
Okay.
So I started sending my poems to newspapers, and I got a lot of rejections. So after that, they started publishing, and thus the bio has been created, the one that you read.
Okay, wow, very nice. I think at such a young age you've been published through various newspapers is a feat in itself.
Thank you so much.
So you have written Devi series. I think two books have come out, and third one is in the pipeline. So I would love to know about your books. Today we are talking about Saraswati's Gift. So tell me what's your book is all about.
Okay, so let me show you the books. This is the one which we are going to talk about today.
Okay. Okay, lovely cover.
So, yeah, all thanks to the team. This is a graphic novel series,
Okay.
and I
Oh,
don't
very
think
nice.
it's visible properly
Yeah, it's a bit
because
blurry.
I turned on the yeah.
Okay.
So, the idea came about when I would not say I imagined writing the series at first. I thought it
Okay.
would be a standalone book. when Durga came out,
Mhm.
but then the
Okay.
response was good, and I didn't want to waste the response that we got. So I'm an
Absolutely.
MBA, and I thought of it like from a marketing perspective that when the audience is wanting more, why not
Yes.
provide them?
Very, very well
So
said.
yeah, so this was the first book, Durga.
Yeah, nice. It's a bit shaky, but yeah, I can make it a bit.
Should I stop the blurring of the background?
Only the cover page is not properly visible, otherwise it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so like I told you when we started, I thought it would just be a short, like, it'll just be one book. And
Okay.
honestly speaking, I never thought I would venture into children's literature. The last time
Okay.
when you and I connected, I was a complete opposite kind of a person. I didn't delve much into children's literature. I was all about poetry, and I thought I'd stick to that.
Okay.
So, because at that point of time, Mona Lisa, I was getting these responses from people that I refer to that, what should I do? How should I brand myself? Should I brand myself only as a poet?
Okay.
Because otherwise, my feed is becoming quite a mixture, and maybe I am just confusing my audience. So, the kind of response I received was, yeah, if you started with poetry, why don't you just stick to it?
Yeah.
So I never really thought I'd get into children's literature, but during my bachelor's, the third year, I
Mhm.
received a prize for one of my children's short stories, and Ruskin Bond is somebody that I really look up to. So
Yeah.
to receive an award over there, it
Mhm.
it meant something to me, and I thought that I wouldn't leave it there. When I get an
Yeah.
opportunity, I'll delve into this. And Ukyoto team, they have a good connection. They have good networks with Comic Con. Then
Okay.
there's European Comic World Cup. So there are
Okay.
these things that they do. So I saw that collaboration as an opportunity because
Okay.
children, it's very difficult to get their attention, and
Absolutely.
they won't look at a book. It's if it's just text. So I
Yeah.
saw that as an opportunity.
Okay.
And Durga Puja, like any Bengali who's not living in Calcutta, it's even
Yeah.
more special to us. So we'll do
Exactly.
every little thing to bring Durga Puja to us. So that's
True.
how I wrote Durga. And then from there, I saw that there is a demand. So why not capitalize on that?
Okay. So you have been distributing these books physically, I mean through the publishing house, of course, or is it like
Yes.
digital only? Physical.
So
Okay.
it's both.
It's both. Okay. So the first series you've been able to sell like through like bookstores, or it's through the publishing house's website, or through them
It's
only?
both actually. So this got launched in Frankfurt, Germany. Over
Okay.
there, we displayed this for sales, and after that, we received a huge response for Durga. As of now, Saraswati hasn't, been able to yield that kind of response. I would say it's
Okay.
still running behind, but catching up
No, it
slowly but
will catch
gradually.
up. Don't worry. Yeah.
And then Saraswati was again displayed at Italy.
Okay.
So that's all as of now.
Well, that's a lovely thing to know that your books, especially like mythology and Devi series, are doing good in international market as well. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
So you have started with a good like pace, and the genre you have chosen is also good, I would say, because it's
thank
difficult
you.
for people who are like into adult fiction or maybe poetry, then coming back to children's literature. It's totally a different theme, platform, everything.
Yeah. So
So
it has also been quite a learning experience for me, I would say. The kind of feedback that I received for Durga, it helped me shape Saraswati better. And now again, I submitted my manuscript for Lakshmi actually, but then we are still reworking the thing as per the feedback that we have received. So it will take a little longer than we anticipated earlier. So
okay.
yeah.
So you plan to go for many Devis, I guess.
No, so I could, but I want to stick to three Devi because there's a concept in Hindu mythology of
Okay.
the three Devis and the three Devs. So we have thought of sticking to these three, and then maybe looking at the
Gods.
other concepts that we have for the
Okay.
next series.
Okay, lovely. So it's there are so many things in pipeline that we are looking forward to.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Otherwise, what you plan further? Like, if you have to do something in poetry, do you plan to do any book or anything like collection of, poetry through anthologies, maybe?
So I actually did launch a poetry audiobook, which is a poetry novel. So again, it's with the same publishing house, and it's called Crush Written. So again, that caters to school children. So
Okay.
that first feeling of liking somebody, it could be platonic or it could be more. Then
Okay.
school friends teasing them about the other person, or he looked at you, or you looked at him. We saw that. So these kind of things, which are very childish, and I mean, it would be very different to
Quite
write it
popular
from the
among the
perspective. Yes.
and quite popular
So
among the teenage children and youngsters. I think I saw
yeah,
one of your blogs as well,
yeah.
based on the same topic we're talking about right now. So
Yeah.
you're just keeping it up to blogs, or you plan to go ahead with like like more. You want to explore more through that.
Like I told you, it's an audio book right now. It is available on Google Books in both the ebook as well as the audiobook format. Uh, we didn't think of launching it as a physical book because, honestly speaking, like commercially, I don't know what the returns would be like.
Okay.
Because I mean,
Like
we did
marketing
try
just
that.
comes to your mind.
Yeah, that happens when an author has an MBA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Totally
natural.
understand. Yeah.
So yeah, it'll depend on the response, and I really hope that the response is good. And the next part. So the first part was written from the perspective of the girl. The second book that I am working on, it's not complete, but it's still pretty much the same. This is a series of letters written in poetic format. That is again a reply to all of those letters written in the first book.
Okay.
So this is again going to be like a poetry novel in response to the first one, but
Okay.
I want to really make it a physical book, but it will depend on the response that we receive. And also the other response, the feedback so far has been that people are more into listening to poetry rendition rather
Yeah.
than reading it themselves.
Reading. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
also, poetry books are so short, it's actually feasible to read them either online or listen to them.
Uh-huh.
So, in
So
fact, I remember listening to one of your episodes where you were reading some of the poems that you wrote very
yes.
recently. I think a few episodes back, you must have done that.
Yeah.
And
I
I
was
loved listening to that.
okay. Okay. I was doing through YouTube a few days back, but before that, I think during the COVID times, maybe I did some podcast and all. So some of my
Hmm.
episodes are there on this on the
Okay.
publishing houses podcast channel. So I was visiting those, and I was like, these are good. I should do them more often. So I'm just planning. Maybe let's see.
Yeah. So, even like me personally speaking, I think I like listening to the poet emphasizing on the word that they think the emphasis should be
Huh.
on versus me reading it.
Huh.
It's a whole different story when I read it versus when the author or the poet herself is
Yeah.
reading something. So, even though, again, I didn't read my own poetry book, that is
Yeah.
something I'd like to do with the second one.
Okay.
The second part of Crush Written would maybe be narrated by me if the publishing
Okay.
house allows.
You haven't narrated the first one.
No, no, it was
Okay.
narrated by the team.
Okay. So you can share the link with me. I'll also go and listen because
Okay, sure,
audiobooks are
sure.
something really fun. You know, you can keep on doing your errands and you just play that audio and you're
Yeah,
listening to it. It really
yes.
stays with you. Because in fact, I remember I used to go for my evening walks and I would play something on Spotify and story poems, and I would listen and walk, and my pace would be, automatically I would speed up.
Double,
Yeah.
right?
So it was really fun. And that's how it came to my mind that maybe I should again start with my podcast. So here I am again.
Yeah. So even
So,
I have a podcast, like I told you before we started speaking. It's called
okay.
Kavya Cure, where we
Yeah.
talk about, how we heal through writing, and also when we read, how somebody else's words can impact our mental health and well-being.
Absolutely. Because
So,
mental health is something that people usually don't talk about.
right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have this belief that I'm not is saying that I am completely against it, or that poetry therapy could be an absolute supplement, but definitely we can complement somebody if somebody is on medication. I'm not saying that you can supplement it through poetry therapy or bibliotherapy, but it can definitely be a good supplement. And there are research papers which have been published in this area proving that.
Mhm.
So I definitely think we should talk more about this later once this episode is done.
Sure, sure, sure. I'm with you whenever you need me.
Okay, sure.
So, tell me something more about. You can give a small part of like how like the story. I don't want to give you. I mean, I don't want you to give out the full of it. The book we are
Hmm.
talking today, Saraswati's Gift, but a slight bit so that people can have an idea.
Okay, so in the first part, which is Durga, over there we have an overall message of the good over evil, and
Okay.
how it's not, I mean, it's not just the literal depiction through the story that we have heard during our childhood, but it is also about the good within you and the evil within you,
Hmm.
how to recognize and how to make a balance
Yeah.
of the two sides. And
Yes.
then we have Saraswati's gift. So over here, um, it was a review post on Instagram. Somebody had posted about Durga. So
Okay.
when I was reading that, that actually made me alter a lot of my script for Saraswati, because that
Okay.
person said that while he or she, the page doesn't reveal the identity, so I don't know. But the reader said that while they enjoyed reading the story as it is, and
Hmm.
they liked the pictorial format, they wanted a little bit of, say, science fiction or some other infused into the mythology. So
Okay.
I actually got positive feedback and I Saraswati. So here we
Hmm.
have a character that actually interacts with Goddess Saraswati and
Okay.
takes her help, and she becomes the lead character rather than Ma Saraswati taking the
Okay.
lead. It's her, Meera, taking the lead. So in Durga too, we
Wow.
had a character, but she was more like the side character narrating the story. But over here, she's the one who's taking the lead.
Nice, very nice. Seems interesting. And if somebody wishes to buy these books, where can they find these? Like, is it
Yeah,
available on
so
Amazon or?
yeah, they are available on Amazon, Flipkart, Google Books, almost every online retail store, and not in too many of the offline bookstores as of now. I hope that they get restocked very soon.
Okay, that's nice to know that it's available through Amazon because Amazon is the easily
Right,
accessible one.
right.
So I'll also buy your copy. The both the books. I'll definitely pick a
Thank you
copy.
so much.
Yeah. And what else you would like to, tell me more about yourself? Like, apart from your journey into writing, what else you do? Like, you're doing PhD, and then you're writing books, and then you're also doing your poetry, and you have this page. So, what else we can expect in the future?
I my area of research happens to be AR and VR technologies. I am working with those right now. So
That's why you have
there is
more
a possibility.
inclination. That's why you have more inclination towards the audio thing, I guess.
Yeah. So I have an inclination towards technology, and I might try infusing some amount of augmented reality elements into books to make them more interactive for children,
Very
because
nice.
I understand that it's very difficult to gain their attention,
True,
and
true.
definitely graphic novels have helped our team do that. But
Mhm.
we might want to look at how we can infuse augmented reality into these existing books already. So let's see how it works out.
I also designed one of the graphic novels. I guess last to last year, maybe in the Christmas time. One of the horror books came out from my publishing house, and it's called The Abandoned
Okay.
House Horror. It's a graphic horror novel. So I enjoyed doing it, but this thing is also giving me some inspiration that maybe we can also change it into audio file or something.
Okay, that's wonderful. Why don't we collaborate actually? If you have already done a graphic novel, it's nice, and we can connect and brainstorm some ideas to collaborate on this.
Sure, sure, that would be lovely. I think we
In
would be
fact, I
needing
think
some. Yeah,
yes.
please. No, I was just saying that maybe we might be needing some, quite, effective narrator, I would say, who would be able to narrate a horror story in a very proper way.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were saying something?
like yeah. So I was saying that maybe we could bring children onto the picture as well. Like, what if we design something? Okay, this is very bad of me. I know this is my interview, but I'm brainstorming ideas with you.
That's fine, fine.
So I was thinking that maybe we could bring children into the picture. What if we ask them the kind of stories that they want to tell? And what if we could design a graphic novel according to that? I was thinking of that as one of the strategies for promotion of, Lakshmi before Lakshmi releases. But yeah, we could completely do this as a separate book altogether. So, anyway, we have a lot to talk, and we'll definitely catch up later after this interview.
I think you already have an amazing team with you. The publishing house that you are associated with, they're
Yeah,
doing good. Yeah, because I am now right now taking a little break from publishing and all because I noticed that my work was getting sidelined due to bringing out books one after another. So for now, I'm taking a little break after some of my books have come out and I'm like promoting them well. After that, maybe I'll go back again.
yeah. So again, this has been one of the biggest things that I have learned, which is to take breaks. This
Yeah.
is something I was very bad
You
at.
need that. You
I
need
used to
that
bring
because
up,
you need to, rejuvenate yourself mentally as well. Because same thing you're doing continuously, you become fatigued and you need a break.
right. And also, I think the readers will become confused. Say, for example, you have one diehard fan, Mona Lisa Joshi, whatever she writes, that particular person will pick that up. But you are releasing five of them together. What will the poor guy do?
Yeah,
So it's a tough
that's
decision for the reader as well.
yeah. And
So
promotion is
there's
also
a,
a difficult thing and
right.
quite challenging as well. So I thought that right now I need a slight break and I'll promote the books I've done so far and enjoy the process of writing because my work is also getting neglected. So yeah, you tell me what have else you have written any serious like novel or something you're planning in the future.
Okay, so initially, all right, so let me talk about what I've done so far, because
Yeah.
like currently it's a little all over the place. I have a lot of things to do, so
Hmm.
not much of writing gets done. I plan a couple of things with Team Ukyoto, and I take them forward from there.
Okay.
Uh, like I told you, one is the poetry novel that is in the pipeline, which is
Hmm.
the response to the first book. The other one is Lakshmi, which is the third and the last book in the series of Three Devis.
Okay.
So the other one, which I am just conceptualizing in. very early stages right now. So it's
Mhm.
about two sisters. Again, they are goddesses whom we do not appreciate so much. We do not talk about them so much. But then they are two sisters, and I'm trying to portray it through graphic novels again. So
Okay.
let's see how that works out.
Mhm.
Apart from that, what I have in the pipeline right now includes a series of interviews, I would say, with
Okay.
people from the film industry. So it
Okay.
includes screenwriters, music composers,
Okay.
people, those who are in some way or the other connected to the film industry. So what I'm trying to do with them is have candid conversations and bring out their learnings and insights through
Okay.
my articles. So I'm
Nice.
doing that for just sorry, I'm doing that for different routes, and I also contribute my movie reviews for them.
Okay.
So that's all about what I have as of now.
Yeah, that's quite impressive, I would say, because connecting with film people and film industry is something I think it's quite difficult. So if you are able to do that, that's really, I would say, hats off to you. Yeah. So you want to read something from a book if you feel like?
Yeah, okay, sure. So should I read from Durga or Saraswati?
Your call. Totally up to you.
All right, so I'll read from Saraswati. Uh, Here, Meera just realizes that. So, regarding the story itself, Meera is the central character. She realizes that she has this pen which she writes with, and whatever she writes becomes the reality. So, this
Okay.
is the part which gives away the fact that her pen is not just a shakalaka boom boom pen. It might actually lead to a lot of disasters as well if she writes them. So she
Okay.
realizes that, and here's how it goes. This pen, it's the key, isn't it? Then Saraswati, goddess Saraswati, appears and she says, the Divya Lekha, the divine script, possesses the power of manifestation. Each stroke, each symbol has the potential to shape reality. Saraswati appeared, her presence serene yet tinged with a sense of urgency. She points to a faded emblem resembling a lotus, intertwined with celestial symbols. Legend speaks of the lotus of creation, a symbol of balance and harmony. But in the wrong hands, it could bring chaos. Meera asks, how do I unlock its true potential? Meera's eyes widened, realizing the enormity of the responsibility entrusted upon her.
Very nice. From the word manifestation, I actually, suddenly got this question in my mind. And it's very, fantasy based. If you really get this, kind of wish that one of your dreams get true or manifested into a reality, what would you wish for?
I think my entire life is something I manifested. So I don't have anything more to manifest. It's like a continuous process to me. Um, and I very much, I mean, I can't even start to tell you how much I believe in the concept of manifestation because I think my
Absolutely.
life played out exactly like I wanted it to. Every failure, every thing that felt like a disappointment towards the beginning, it has only been a step for me to reach where I wanted to reach.
Mhm.
And I think in my journey so far, whether it be in terms of writing or academic, it was wonderful. There are times when I feel like this is the end of it all. Every now and then there's a feeling like that. But every time I feel that, it only leads me to a better place. And I am incredibly grateful to the universe for that.
Lovely. Because I think it's really true that, whatever happens is for the good. We say this, and it's really true because sometimes we don't get what we are desiring, but we get even better. So it's just about
Right.
being patient and understanding the process. So So, yes, Shukarna, it was lovely talking to you today. And anything you want to give out to the aspiring authors who are just starters who want to know that how to begin with, if they have to connect with some publishing house, or maybe like you know you have been through that process. So, anything you would like to say?
So my biggest problem when I was getting started was my self-doubt.
Okay.
Um, while I was a child, as a child, it was easier, I'd say. But I took a break from writing for a couple of years, and then I had to get back because in
Okay.
between I was very focused on my academics,
Mhm.
like super focused. I was not on any social media.
Okay.
I was absolutely away from all different kinds of hobbies. I would only indulge in studies. That was my like only thing to do. I had zero contacts with friends. I was only studying for some time. So when I came back to writing, I felt like if I'm seeking publication, am I even worth it? And then I had to look back on those years, when I started as a child. I used to send my poems every publishing house possible and to every newspaper on this planet, and I didn't
Okay.
even care. You take it if you like it. If you don't like it, you throw it away. I don't really care. So that was the kind of attitude and the kind of results that brought me. I think when I look back, whenever I feel demotivated, I am my own biggest inspiration in terms of writing.
Wow.
So my suggestion to people who are starting late, a little late, is
Hmm.
that you believe in yourself. You are
Yeah.
worth it, and whatever you desire, if you work for it, it will come. It will become your reality, like
Hmm.
Mira does through her pen in the book.
Yeah.
And for people who are young and starting out early,
Hmm.
uh, my advice to you is don't think that you will become the next J.K. Rowling and you can let go of your studies. Hardly happens for creatives in India. So it's
Yeah.
pretty difficult. While you can do it, and I wish you best of luck. I really want everybody watching us right now, if they have a desire to, pursue a creative career as their full-time thing, I want that to happen for you. But while you do that, it is also essential that you keep a balance and keep a separate career to, earn your daily bread
Yeah.
so that it helps you in return.
True. True. Very well said. So lovely talking to you, Shukarna, and I would be really glad if I'm again able to connect with you for some other books in the future. And also, maybe we can talk about that depression thing because hardly people talk about it. Maybe we can create an episode with some more, people who would like to talk about it. So
Right.
we'll do some episode on that. And I wish you all the very best with your books and also the one that is in pipeline. And I'm straight away heading to, get my copies. So
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much for being with me today on Mona Lisa's talk show. Lovely having you.
Thank you again, Mona Lisa. This was the second time I connected with you. And every time we connect over a interview call, it's more like a candid conversation with a friend rather than an interview. So thank you so much for being the wonderful person that you are and continue the good work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. So sweet of you. Bye. Have a great
Thank
evening. Bye.
you.
So that was Shukarna Basu Malik. Her latest Devi series, Saraswati's Gift, is out now through Amazon, through their publishing house, Yukioto. And I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but yeah, the books are available through Amazon, the Devi series. Go check them and enjoy reading them. These are all graphic novels. I'm sure you will enjoy, and your children will also love it. So this is me, Mona Lisa Joshi, signing off. Have a great evening, all.